know how Ninger felt at that time. I didn't expect our Jianho mansion to have a day like this. Huangpu Qingyun, I'll pay back this debt. One day, I will pay you back double. Songyu, what's wrong with you? What is with that terrible look? It's nothing. If your sister gets bullied, what would you do? It depends on who did it. If it's an ordinary person, I will take out my anger on them. If it's the 7 imperial families, then I will report to Master and let her make the choice. Humph. What good would that do? Whoever dares bully my brother. I'll wipe out his entire family. He'll never see the light of day. Elders, please be seated. Make yourselves comfortable. Where is there an empty table here? Could it be that the servants got the numbers wrong and left an empty table? Second young master, that seat over there is actually for the Jianho mansion. I just don't know what's so important for them to be this late. If the second young master finds it an eyesore, why don't you just get it removed? Adding fuel to the fire. Everyone can see you are obviously throwing stones here. What Elder Yen said is correct, this table is taking up space. It really is an eyesore. Just spill it. Second young master, Jianho Mansion is one of the 7 families after all. Even if no one arrives, a seat should be reserved. It is really insulting for you to do this. I'm afraid it will cause dissatisfaction with the Jianho Mansion. If you're not satisfied, then stay dissatisfied. Is he the entire Jianho Mansion in person? Do you have the courage to resist the Emperor's Gate for a table? It's not a matter of having guts, it's a matter of the dignity of the 7 families. There is no need to be so disrespectful to the 7 imperial families. Good point. Then, I would like to ask Elder Jiao. On whose territory did the elders of Yuming Valley die? If people don't offend me, I won't offend them either. Yuming Valley dug its own grave. Who is to be blamed? You blind Long Jiao. What did you say? Both of you, calm down. This is neither the Qianlong Pavilion, nor the Yuming Valley. It is really not a place for 2 people to resolve personal grievances. Even if you don't give face to the Huayu Tower, you should still give some to the second young master. Ha ha ha. That's right. The 7 imperial families are one family. Why quarrel over a table? Besides, this is the Huayu Tower. Whether this table goes or stays should be decided by Qingcheng. Jianho Mansion is a guest of Huayu Tower and deserves a seat as well. He. All in accordance with what Qingcheng said. Here, Qingcheng is the real master. Well, thank you, Qingyun. Silly girl. The meaning behind the second young master's action. You didn't even understand it at all. You deserve to die with the entire Huayu Tower. Well, then this table does not need to be removed. But even so, it's not a good thing to leave it empty. The 2 of you outside the door. How about you come in and have a drink with us? Okay, Sister Choo Choo. Bitch. Sure enough, they really are a very good pair of jades, both husband and wife. You two, could you introduce yourselves? From under the Mutant House, Xiao Dandan greets the second young master. Yeyu City, a third-rate family. Song family. Songyu. Oh, a third-rate family. It's a rare thing for the young master of a third-rate family to become the son-in-law of Huayu Tower. You two, please be seated over there. What? A son-in-law. When did I become the son-in-law of Huayu Tower? Qingyun, you can't. That seat is reserved for Jianhou Mansion. How can we let these two juniors take their seats? Indeed, second young master. The two of them aren't qualified yet. What are you two doing standing there? Get behind me. Qingcheng, I have already promised you not to withdraw Jianhou Mansion's table. But you still won't let me invite two guests to the table. That's a bit disrespectful of you, now. Seating a third-rate family's son and a disciple of the Huayu Tower at the table of the Jianhou Mansion. This is clearly a slap in the face of the Jianhou Mansion. He is deliberately insulting the Jianhou Mansion. To discern which families can be taken in and which cannot. Looks like the Emperor's Gate has a much bigger appetite than the other 6. They want to unify the 7 imperial families. I must find elders as soon as possible to improve the strength of the Luo family. Otherwise, the 7 families will become one, and they will really be a behemoth that even the Tianyu imperial family will find it hard to shake. This brat actually has the audacity to sit in the Jianhou Mansion's seat without permission. This is purely an embarrassment for the Jianhou Mansion. Kid, sit where you shouldn't and you'll get yourself killed. Jiuyi, now that you have said this, beware of the danger of getting your family destroyed. The nerve of this kid. How dare you threaten Long Jiu of the Qianlong Pavilion with such words? Never in a million years would I have thought that a young master of a third-rate family would actually be able to guess my intentions and thoughts in an instant. Thank you, sir, for reminding me. The elder Jiu of Qianlong Pavilion was actually scared off by the threatening words of a boy without a name or origin. How is this possible? Things that connect people's hearts. It seems that Long Jiu has recognized me. I am already a dead man, and you're betting against my family's honor. Are you not afraid, Jiuyi? The name Jiuyi was the honorific name I gave to Long Jiu when I first met him. Ha 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 ha. What a kid. Although there are many who call him that, those who can speak to him in such an untamed tone of voice. I am probably the only one. Strange. A boy from a third-rate family dared to speak presumptuously to an elder of the Qianlong Pavilion. This is a surprise. The elder of the Qianlong Pavilion doesn't seem to care about this. On the contrary, there were some hints of wimping out. These two are really strange, and by the looks of the two of them, there's always some unspoken meaning behind it all. That's a real triple surprise. Humph. The Huayu Tower is really attentive to their guests. Even some of the lesser characters get a seat at the table. They're all here. Who told you to sit there? Step back already. Qingcheng, did you forget already? It was me who invited them to the table. Isn't it a waste of a table without anyone sitting there? It's better for me to invite the two disciples to the table than for some people to occupy the toilet and not take a shit. Humph. Since second young master can't stand our Jianhou Mansion, then we don't have a reason to be here anymore. Farewell. If you went back so humiliated, wouldn't the Jianho mansion have to blame all the crimes on the Huayu Tower? Master Xia, please stay. At a time of such crisis, we must not offend any family. The arrangement of the Huayu Tower was improper this time. Please forgive me. I'm willing to set another table for Mr. Xia and apologize in person. Chu Qingchang, as the chief owner of the Huayu Tower, is willing to lower herself and personally apologize. That act alone has already given enough face to Jianho Mansion. It is reasonable to say that this situation shouldn't be made too difficult. However, Master Chu, since you already have the Emperor's Gate to back you up, why do you have to be so patronizing? Such sarcasm. How can I not hear that? It's just that the Huayu Tower is now in a critical situation and can only rely on the Emperor's Gate. But because of this, other families are left out. I don't know if making such a decision is right or wrong. Huayu Tower is getting lonely. As a host, you couldn't guarantee the face of the guests in your own territory. If the prestige is lost, who will support you in the future? Not good. This is obviously Huangpu Qingyun's plan to isolate the Huayu Tower. If the Huayu Tower disappears, the next one in line will be Jianho Mansion and Qianlong Pavilion, both of whom did not buy into him. When the 7 families are unified, our Luo family will not be able to get ahead. Brother Xie, I still have some room here. If you won't reject, why don't we squeeze in here and join the banquet? Sitting at the same table with you is an insult to our honor as one of the 7th family. This Huayu Tower is too much, even a third-rate character dares to shout at me. Coward. Are you that afraid of sharing a table with this one? Is this kid a fool or a lunatic? First, he threatened the elder Jiao of Qianlong Pavilion with words. And now, he is blatantly calling the young master of the Jianho Mansion a coward. Is this kid not afraid of death? Elder Jiao probably didn't make a move out of concern for seniority. But Xie Tianyang is a hot-blooded young man. If you insult him in public, how could he possibly let you go? Even if he kills you on the spot, Huayu Tower will have nothing to say. The bastard came up floundering again. I can't wait to beat this kid up right now. Master Chu, even if Huayu Tower is backed by the Emperor's Gate, it's still too much. Do you really not put our Jianho Mansion in your eyes? 8th Elder, please don't be angry. It's all a mistake. He's just a straightforward man. This seat will certainly give you a satisfactory explanation. Songyu, don't you want to apologize to Master Xia and the others? Master Xia, please calm down. He is still a child. Please don't be familiar with him. Mr. Xia, he's my husband and a member from our Huayu Tower. Even if he has made a mistake, it should be dealt with by the Huayu Tower. Please don't be angry. Ha ha ha. Good wine. Of course. The wine at the Huayu Tower is brewed by young girls, so it has a unique flavor. If you're a brother, sit down and have a drink or two with me. Tian. Tian. Tian Yang Yu. Since when did this kid's sex change? Eighth elder, you should sit down as well. Xie Tian Yang. Weren't you just disdaining sitting at the table with this third-rate young master? What is? I, Xie Tian Yang, really don't want to be at the same table as some people. But after the first encounter with this brother, I don't mind it at all. Qing Chang. Qing Yun, taking the opportunity of this Baidan festival, I just had a hard time getting the 7 families to come and bear witness, so please don't make things difficult for Mr. Xie. He. How could I make things difficult for him? After all, I came here for you. Let's begin. While the 7 families are here, let's settle the matter of your Huayu Tower and the Medicine King Hall once and for all. Great. With the support of the Imperial Gate, we can finally force the old thief to hand over the antidote. Today, on the occasion of this gathering of the 7 families, there is one thing I would like you all to witness. Yen Song, the feud between you and the Huayu Tower should be settled today. He. I don't know what kind of grudge this old man has against your Huayu Tower. Could it be? Is it because this old man came here uninvited? Yen Song, you don't have to play dumb. There are 7 elders present here today, and with the second young master of the imperial family as the witnesses, you can't argue with that fact. If you don't hand over the antidote to the 7-colored cloud palm, don't even think about leaving here alive today. He. Elder Yen. If you really poisoned the disciples of the Huayu Tower, you might as well hand over the antidote so as not to harm the harmony between the 2 families. He. The second young master is indeed right. This old man did hurt the host of this tower, but the antidote to this. It is absolutely impossible for me to give it up. Yen Song, you've got a lot of nerve. Not giving face even to the imperial family. Do we have to go to His Majesty and let him be the judge before we stop? His Majesty doesn't have time to meddle in the affairs of our 7 families. Last time, Qianlong Pavilion and Yuming Valley were beaten 50 times by His Majesty because of the Fenglin City incident. No one got anything out of it, and the other 5 families were warned as well. Instead, Fenglin City became a forbidden zone, and none of the 7 families can step into it. Humph. If the Imperial Gate really wants to unify the 7 families, then he must keep the affairs of the 7 families firmly in his own hands. If there are any grievances between the 7 families, they will all go to the Emperor to comment. The head of his 7 families is nothing more than an empty shelf. Humph, the seizing of power is quite fast. It seems that this Imperial Gate really has the ambition. Qingyun, what you said is reasonable, but this old thief. Give it to me. Elder Yen, not giving me face even to me. Do you not put the Imperial Gate or me in your eyes? He. Second young master misunderstood. The antidote really can't be given. What kind of person gets stolen and gives something to a bunch of thieves? Oh, what do you mean by that? He. Owner Chu, you're not forgetting that kid Chu Qingtian, are you? What a strong killing intent. This is the first time I have seen it. Chu Qingcheng can't control her emotions like this. When the Huayu Tower sent Chu Qingtian, a small child, to become my disciple. This old man saw him as clever and wise, and taught him all my skills. But in the end, he stole the antidote to the seven-colored cloud palm. In the end, because of his own weakness, he failed in refining the antidote and died while also causing many owners to get poisoned. Can this old man really be blamed for this? That's right. He was sort of my older brother. Originally, being able to inherit Master's mantle. But unfortunately, he did not know how to repay kindness, and was too arrogant. He thought he could succeed in refining it with his own power, and as a result, lost his life. You really can't blame others for that. The only thing I admire about my senior brother is his talent for alchemy. As for his character, he was too egotistical. In the end, good intentions led to bad deeds, which harmed the entire Huayu Tower. It can only be said that you didn't measure up. Shut up. Second son, if this was your imperial family, would you give a detailed antidote? That makes sense. What? He was supposed to be the helper hired by the Huayu Tower. How could you say something in favor of the Medicine King's palace? Second young master, there is a reason for this. Back then, it really was the Medicine King's palace that made the first move on our lower floors. Humph. The seven families have a lot of petty grudges against each other. So, how can they send details to other families? If it's as you say, wouldn't the Yuming Valley be full of people from the Qianlong Pavilion? Or is the Qianlong Pavilion also a hideout of the Yuming Valley? That's a fair point. Even if there are some grudges, let's talk about them openly. Sending details to other families, however, is too cheap. It's a disgrace to the reputation of the seven families. All right. Since I am here along with all the elders, then let me be a judge. Would you be willing to be a witness to resolve the feud between the two families? It all depends on the judgment of the second young master. Good. Then I judge that Elder Yen will give the antidote for the seven-colored cloud palm to the Flower Rain House, and he cannot refuse. But Flower Rain House is also at fault. So, to be fair, Elder Yen can choose any item in the possession of Huayu Tower as compensation. The delivery of the antidote was being delayed because of the reluctance to hand over the treasure of the Huayu Tower. If not, they would have made an exchange with Yen Song long ago. This judgment of Huang Pichingyun, it may seem fair. But it is in the best interest of Yen Song. This is a trap. You guys. These two have already colluded. The second young master's sentence seems fair, and this old man is convinced. Then, I will make myself comfortable. This old man wants the Bodhi Jade roots. You can't. The treasure of my Huayu Tower, I can never hand it over to you. Qingcheng, you asked me to be the judge. I have made the most fair judgment for you, and now you are regretting it again. Are you playing with me? So that's how it is. The Imperial Gate's Wangpu Qingyun did not come for Chu Qingcheng, but instead for the Medicine King's palace. With this, the Imperial Gate has successfully intervened in the dispute between the Medicine King's pill and the Huayu Tower. Since the Imperial family got involved, no one from the other families dares to help Huayu Tower anymore. Never would I have thought that her last straw, her childhood sweetheart, would bring about the most ruthless betrayal. Traitor. Hypocrite. Qing Cheng, what's done is done, so don't be stubborn anymore. This is also for the good of your Huayu Tower. Bullshit, if you take the Bodhi Jade roots, what else will we have left in the Huayu Tower? If there are no people left, what would be left of the Huayu Tower? In short, I have already said it before. It is up to me to make the judgment. I have already judged and you must follow my judgment. Otherwise, you won't be able to afford the wrath of the imperial family. Hey! Prince Huangpu. You are the judge of what you say, and the elders present are the witnesses. Now that you have passed judgment, it is the turn of the elders to witness what is right and wrong. How dare you touch the imperial family's eyebrows at such a time? What a nerve. This is an issue between the Huayu Tower and the Medicine King's palace. Who gave you the permission to interfere? If I'm not qualified to comment on Huayu Tower's affairs, while being the Huayu Tower's son-in-law, then, who the heck are you to talk shit here? Presumptuous. Qing Cheng, what do you mean by this? Do you want to openly breach the contract? Song Yu is right. The second young master has already made his judgment. It is time for the elders to witness whether your judgment is fair or not. You won't go back on your word, right? Fine. Let the elders here witness whether my judgment is fair or not. You tell me. My judgment just now, was it fair or not? Now, the ball is in our court. Wouldn't it be a complete offense to the imperial family if we just said no? Ha ha ha. The second young master's judgment on the two families just now, it's very fair. I have no problem with it. The fifth elder is indeed knowledgeable. Second young master, this old man is not dissatisfied by anything. I, too, am convinced of the fairness of your judgment and I have no complaints whatsoever. Lin Zitian. You. Next. Ninth Elder of Qianlong Pavilion, please express your opinion. Second young master, Long Jiao also thinks that your judgment is fair. Joy, speak carefully. This kid actually dared to threaten the ninth elder of the Qianlong Pavilion again. Even if, at first, Long Jiao was not bothered by the fact that he was a junior, but for the second time, it is too much to bear. How dare he speak disrespectfully to Long Jiao again and again and again? Who the hell is this kid? If Long Jiao doesn't do something to teach this kid a lesson, then, isn't the reputation of the Qianlong Pavilion completely ruined? He. Long Jiao, getting insulted twice by a junior and not taking any action, you have a really good temper. Second young master, Long Jiao thinks your judgment is unfair. Although the Huayu Tower was at fault, you asked them to take out the treasure of their house. It's simply going to destroy them. What's the difference between this and destroying the Huayu Tower itself? This one sentence is tantamount to completely offending the Imperial Gate. Zhuo Fan has never been wrong with any of his decisions. I want to believe in him. Who would have thought that Long Jiao would say such a thing? In favor of Huayu Tower. Isn't it obvious that this is a confrontation with the Imperial Gate? A single sentence changed the decision of the 9th Elder of the Qianlong Pavilion. Who the hell is this guy and where did he come from? How can he have more influence than me? What about Jianho Mansion? What is your opinion? 8th Elder. This matter is up to me to decide. Well, Tianyang. This is about the future of our Jianho Mansion. You must. I know. Boy, I've known since long. Are you really the son-in-law of Huayu Tower? Yes, I am. He. Then, kiss your wife and prove it to me. What do you mean? You looking for a fight? He, I know you want me to support your words. But if you don't do what I say, I don't know who I'm going to vote for on that one. What? Tianyang. How can this kid act so playful when the future of the family is being decided right now? 8th Elder, believe me. I know what I am doing. I have never seen Tianyang as serious as right now. I believe that he won't play games with the family business. Hurry up. Xie Tianyang. What do you mean by that? If you want to play with a woman, go play with her yourself. And, don't make fun of me. Ha. You have a day, too. I'm going to tell her about it, and she will be completely over you. Childish. Have these two met before? Just vote. All right. 2nd Young Master. I will never support you. And so, we, from the Jianho Mansion, think that your judgment is unfair. Good. If you have the guts, wait for me. Since the second son's judgment was not agreed upon by the 7 elders, the judgment has become invalid. Who said the judgment is invalid? Have you forgotten about the existence of our Imperial Gate? This is the first time I've heard that judges can also vote. From the beginning, the Imperial Gate's vote has been invalid. It's you again. If it wasn't for you, the Huayu Tower would have already surrendered. You're the only one whom I must kill myself. If you are not satisfied with this result, I have another suggestion to make. Why don't we each take a step back, let Elder Yen hand over the antidote, and then he can choose any one of the treasures. No, I don't want anything, other than the Bodhi Jade roots. If you want the Bodhi Jade roots, it is not something that is totally impossible. It's just that you can't take the treasure of the tower for free, you will have to take it with your ability. What do you mean? It's very simple. The Baidan festival is coming up soon. You can take the Bodhi Jade roots as a prize. The winner of the festival, naturally, can be justified. Then, let us see. Who can compare to me in alchemy? Who can compare to the poisonous pill king in alchemy and treasure snatching? It's worth a shot. All right, let's do that. Wait. Enough, I am tired. Let's stop today's banquet right here. Wait a minute. Why? Ching Cheng. I gave you a chance just now, but you didn't take it. Anyway, it's all about family interests, and neither you nor I can change that. If only you had been a little more obedient, it wouldn't have come to this point. You've got it all wrong this time, Owner Chu. In contrast to our Pill Palace, the one who really wants the Bodhi Jade roots is actually the Imperial Gate. What? He. Didn't you hear the old woman mention that the Imperial Gate had already asked her for those Bodhi jade roots? She was just too squirmy and wouldn't give it up. Therefore, now that we have come to this point, there's no harm in telling you another secret. Do you think I could have ever really hurt that old woman with my strength? After all, she was the owner of the Huayu Tower and was assisting the third generation of the tower. A dignified expert at the pinnacle of the profound sky realm. That's right. The first one to gravely injure her at that time was the master of the Imperial Gate. Silly girl. You think you are relying on the Imperial Gate to stand up for you, all by the virtue of your relationship with the second young masters during your childhood. But in reality, you're just leading the wolf into the house. Why are you following me? Go play. You just did that to someone, and now that they're yours, you're just mean to them. What did I do to you? I just kissed you once. What's the big deal? This was just to get the Jianhou mansion to help you save the Huayu Tower, alright? Don't mention this in the future ever again. I have nothing to do with you. Songyu, are those people here for you because you insulted them at the banquet? If that's the case, then let's get out of here and stay away from them. Yes, but this is a man's business. So, stay out of it. Also, stay away from me in the future. Everyone. Long time no see. It really is you, kid. If you can't do it, you're a coward. If you hadn't called me a coward, I wouldn't have believed it was you. By the way, where is my sister-in-law? Scram. Brother. I wanted to ask what you meant earlier. Are you aware of the fact that, just now, we completely offended the Imperial Gate? Brother. Are you? Zhua Fan. What? He is Zhua Fan. Right. Zhua Fan. What did you mean by that? I'm sure you have your reasons for doing this. Don't tell me that, you've sold me out again. Because we agreed on living and dying together. Both of you are people I, Zhua Fan, trust the most. If not necessary, I would never involve you in such a dangerous situation. However, since you are already in danger, you might as well plan ahead. What do you mean? Can't you see it? Obviously, the Imperial Gate is going to unify the 7 families. What? A unification of the 7 families. How do you know that? I don't really know about that. It's just a guess. When Huangpu Qingyun got out of the palanquin, he gave Xie Tianyang, who refused to accept him, a good beating. On the surface, it looked like he used the title to deliberately humiliate Jianhou Mansion and vent out his anger for himself. But in fact, he achieved 2 separate goals. First, he managed to weaken the status of the owner of Huayu Tower, and provoke the relationship between Jianhou Mansion and Huayu Tower. Secondly, he found out that there were 3 types of families present. The obedient, the unsatisfied, and the wallgrass. Obviously, Yuming Valley and Medicine King's Palace were considered compliant. While Huayu Tower, Jianhou Mansion, and Qianlong Pavilion repeatedly opposed his decision. Naturally, it just doesn't fit. As for the Kuaihua Forest, it's completely filled with wallgrass. The Imperial Gate. So, to put it bluntly, the Imperial Gate intends to unify the 7 families, and you have been put on the list of those who must be eliminated. Rather than getting beaten passively, it is better to draw the line right now and fight back to the end. So, that's how it is. Now, I understand. The reason why Huangpu Qingyun did all those petty and rude things that the children of big families would consider vile and disgusting. It turns out that he wasn't being arrogant or something. Instead, he was just choosing the next family to deal with. If what Zhuo Fan said is right, the strongest out of the 7, Imperial Gate, will declare war on us and eliminate us one by one in order to achieve the great goal of the unification of the 7 families. However, all of this is just a guess on your part. If the case is not as you have guessed, then we're in trouble with the Imperial Gate for no reason at all. That's true. But you can think about it yourself. It's better to act surprised than to be caught off guard by them. The 2 evils have the right to take the light. If it was up to me, what's the harm in fighting them? As soon as they show even the slightest indication, I would wipe them out. This kid is ruthless and decisive, a true talent to be an overlord. Well, you can't be too careful. If their Emperor's Gate has already been eyeing the 7 families, then it doesn't matter if it's the mess of Huayu Tower or not. But since you asked us to support the Huayu Tower, wouldn't it cause an early war with the Imperial Gate? This kid, finally, knows how to think about his family. The Huayu Tower is indeed the weakest of the 7 and is already on the verge of collapse. That's why the Imperial Gate took it first. If the Huayu Tower collapses, who will be next for the Imperial family to deal with? The Huayu Tower is a door for you. And if the door gets broke open, the Imperial Gate can march right in and take over the other great families. In addition, with the Huayu Tower, we can know the direction of the Imperial Gate's attack. If the Huayu Tower collapses, we will have no way of knowing the Imperial Gate's next goal. So, what's in it for you? From what I know of you, you would never do something that does not benefit you. Miss Long Kuei, do you remember our 10-year contract? You mean the contract in which it states that in 10 years, the Luo family will surpass the 7 families. Not bad. The benefit I want right now is to slow down the pace of the Imperial Gate's conquest. Within 10 years, the Luo family will rise. When the time comes, it will be hard to tell which family is the best in the world. What a big mouth. Alas, it seems that in order to protect the safety of our 2 families, this time we can only work together to save the Huayu Tower. However, it would have been better to say it yesterday. Now that the 2 families have reached an agreement, there is no reason for us to interfere. You brat. If you insist on competing for treasures, instead of giving good advice, you will be playing right in the palm of the vicious Medicine King. Do you think I want to? How else could they have stepped back so easily and left the Huayu Tower with a chance of survival? Besides, you don't need to worry about it this time around. Just as long as you help me in the future, and don't let the Huayu Tower get swallowed up. Since we don't need to worry about this one, does that mean you already have a plan? It's just alchemy. I'm going to meet the vicious Medicine King. What? The Poison Hand Pill King is a 7th grade alchemist. Are you? The 7th grade is already considered one of the best in the entirety of Tianyu Empire. And the vicious Medicine King is the #1 alchemist in the Medicine King's palace. He is an absolute master, estimated to be the #1 in Tianyu Empire. Could it be that Zhuo Fan, at such an age and with such cultivation, already has such achievements? What kind of monster is this guy? Both alchemy and formations are unique in this world and they have such amazing strength. Only a handful from the younger generation have managed to reach it. Although I knew that Zhuo Fan's alchemy techniques were not simple, I didn't expect this kid to already be a 7th grade alchemist at such a young age. Don't think too highly of me. I'm just going for a meeting and I might not have a chance to win. Alchemy requires at least 3 conditions: cultivation, techniques, and fire. The cultivation determines and helps control the size and duration of the fire. The technique is the secret of each alchemist. And the flame determines the degree at which the herbs get refined. I don't know what that green flame was, but it is strong enough. With the power of that green flame, I should be able to make a 7th grade pill. What if you fail the contest? Then I'll have to openly rob them. With the Bodhi jade roots in my hands, the Imperial Gate will definitely turn their attention towards me. And with that, the Huayu Tower will have a chance to breathe. But if you do that, what you will be facing will be the pursuit of the 3 great families. Ha ha ha. So what? If we're going to be enemies sooner or later, we might as well disrupt their plans before it's too late. As long as I have their attention, all 3 of you will be able to put a plan in action. This is tantamount to using one's own life in exchange for the preparation time of the 3 families. No ordinary person would dare to risk their life for a guess that might be wrong. Good boy. You've got guts. Mr. Xia, be merciful. Okay, Sister Choo Choo. Everyone, this kid, Songyu, is just a rash boy. Although he offended all of you just now. Please give me some face, and don't be so mean to this kid. Cough cough. Why does the Huayu Tower have a disciple who does not understand basic etiquette? If it weren't for the mutant house owner, who arrived just in time, this old man would have used his palm to cleave this kid in half. Yes, yes. Uncle Gio, please don't get too familiar with him. Your life has been saved this time. So, make sure you are careful from now on. Did that old man just take advantage of me? Hee hee hee. Boy, be careful. Next time, I will not let you go. You know, I'm more handsome and powerful than you. Even though I called you brother earlier, don't get on your high horse. What kind of brothers did I make? I was just showing brotherly love earlier. But now, watch how I paint the picture for you too. Hey, what are you looking at? Are you dissatisfied? Just like this girl here, you are nothing but a junior. Learn to behave properly the next time you meet Uncle Gio. Don't be so rude and don't act like you're uneducated. Even this little girl is taking advantage of the situation to retaliate. If not for the presence of people from the Huayu Tower, I would have already pulled your pants down and beat you up. Just now, it was really dangerous. Fortunately, I informed my master in time. That's the reason why I could come to your rescue immediately, otherwise. Who asked you to come? If it wasn't for you guys, could they have found such an opportunity to humiliate me? Songyu, don't think you can rely on the chief owner to support you while you bully my disciple. Humph. Just now, if Dandan did not rush over to beg me, I wouldn't have cared about whether you lived or died. Humph. I told you, men are no good. Their conscience has been eaten by dogs. Dandan, let's go. This kind of man is not worth your effort. Now, it's time to show my cards to Chu Ching Chang. Using the Bodhi Jade liquid in exchange for the temporary peace of the Huayu Tower. For them, it should be a good deal. Chief Owner Chu, I have something I want to talk to you about. It is about the survival of Huayu Tower. I believe you will be quite interested. What the hell? Even with the heart of a strong profound Sky Realm Master, the respected owner of the Huayu Tower couldn't stand the blow. Can a man's betrayal really make her despair like this? A woman's heart is simply too fragile. But elder sister, even if you want to give up, at the very least, give me the Bodhi Jade liquid first. If I had met her in this state a day ago, I would have probably laughed out loud, but now, it's a different story. If Chu Ching Chang, the chief owner, encounters any failure, then the Huayu Tower will collapse. Won't that line up perfectly with the Imperial Gate's intentions? That means now, I can't take the Bodhi Jade liquid by force. I can only ask her politely. Owner Chu, wake up. Listen to my proposal about the way to save the Huayu Tower. I assure you that you will not be disappointed. There's no other way. Once a person locks her heart to escape the blow of reality, no one can wake them up except for themselves. Sister Chu Chu, why are you? You. What did you call me? Sister Chu Chu, you woke up. It turned out to be you. Thank you. No, I'm glad you woke up. By the way, I have one thing too. There is no need to say anything. Nothing matters now. The Huayu Tower has come to this point because of me and I will take responsibility. I must do one last thing for the Huayu Tower. As a matter of fact, you can't be completely blamed for this. And also, the Huayu Tower still has Songyu. Having said that, I also want to thank you. Although I don't know what method you used to win over Qianlong Pavilion and Jianhou Mansion, it gave us one last chance. But without this opportunity, our Huayu Tower would not have even a shred of dignity left. Well, actually. Well, you don't have to say any more, I understand. I know you want to comfort me, but that is not necessary. I have already figured it out completely. Now, there is still some time before the Baidan Festival is held. I hope you can do something for me. Sister, can you let me say something? Huayu Tower Backyard Cliff. Chu Ching Chang, a disciple of Huayu Tower, requests to see Aunt Tao. Chu Chu, you have already become the chief owner of Huayu Tower. Since you can enter here at will, why bother asking me for permission every time? Aunt Tao is the owner of this place. Even if I am the owner of the tower, I don't dare enter without permission. So cold. Sneeze. He achieved the diamond body, sometimes referred to as the Vajra body or the indestructible body. After he reconstructed it completely with diamond quicksand just before his fight with the seventh ghost from Yuming Valley. For even my diamond body to feel the cold. There must be extreme treasures kept for safeguarding in this cave. This old woman was poisoned so deeply that her body has already hardened. I can't believe that she can still ignore the restrictions and emit sound. One must have a really high level of cultivation to do that. I never expected this. Does Huayu Tower really have such a master? Humph. Silly boy, that's a living dead. The ears cannot hear, the mouth cannot speak, and the body cannot be moved. So, how could it lift the restriction? Everything that you just saw and experienced was my doing. Aunt Tao, his cultivation is very low. He has only got brute force. It's normal not to be able to sense you. So, don't blame him for not finding you. Choo-choo, I have never seen you defend a man like this. Could it be that this boy is your? Have you shown him? Shown. Shown what? Treasure. Songyu, this is the chief alchemist of our Huayu Tower, Aunt Tao. Go pay your respects. Why did you bring me to see your chief alchemist? Do you want me to learn alchemy from her? Forget it, I will teach her, instead. But it depends on whether she is qualified enough or not. 7-colored cloud palm. What? Did I scare you? Nana. This is the work of the 7-colored cloud palm. Not all of the women of our Huayu Tower are beautiful. Songyu, don't be rude. Quickly apologize to Aunt Tao. Although it looks like the work of the 7-colored cloud palm, this was not caused by it. Good boy. It seems that you are quite knowledgeable about this pill poison. It is true that this is not caused by the 7-colored cloud palm. It was caused by alchemy. It happened when I was trying to break down the antidote. Were you refining pills or poison? Nana. Well said. I have no idea about what it actually is. It's just that. For the past 3 years, the more I studied this pill, the more I felt like it's like a pill but it's not a pill, and at the same time, it's like a poison but it's not a poison. Vicious Medicine King, you really do have the skills. I am really ashamed of myself. Is that human skin? And that is. It's the formula for the antidote of the 7-colored cloud palm. How could this be? Each of these 7 medicinal herbs is an incomparable treasure under the heavens. But this refining technique. Is it actually a pill or poison? Sure enough. She was also poisoned by the 7-colored cloud palm. That was the sole reason she became like this. Just like Chu Ching Cheng, she also has 7 kinds of poison in her body, plus the Bodhi Jade liquid restraint. With the help of this 10,000-year-old ice bed, this life can be saved. Stand up. The only difference is that the poison in Chu Ching Cheng's body is still meager, while the poison in this living dead has already covered all parts of the body. If not for the 10,000-year-old ice bed freezing her whole body, she would have already died. The formula is correct, but there is something fishy going on here. That's right, kid. This pill is the untold secret of the Medicine King Palace. I have been studying it for several years, but I still can't understand it. Even if you have some achievements in the art of alchemy, how can you possibly find the mysteries behind it? Sigh. Choo-choo. Could it be that? You're here to ask me to keep an eye on this kid for you. Aunt Tao, the thing is. What? Even the Imperial Gate is involved in this. So, Choo-choo, what are you going to do? Are you going to let them destroy the Huayu Tower, or? I would like you to make a sacrifice. Will you come and fight them to the death? Sacrifice. Each of the 7 families under the Imperial family has an enshrined guardian. To support them. Each one of them has a cultivation level of gods and is the realm's last defense force of each family. Unless it is a crisis, it is impossible for the 7 families to ask for a sacrifice. It is obvious that the Huayu Tower has reached the end of the road. In the face of a few masters at the God's realm, even if it is the Imperial Gate, they are bound to take a lot of damage. As a result, it will also slow down their pace of war. That's right, Sister Choo-choo. We will invite the Guardian out and let them know that there are still 3,000 nails on the broken ship. And that our Huayu Tower is not that easy to bully. If we invite the Guardian out, I'm afraid it will start a war between the 7 families. If that happens, the world will